The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Pine City High School for tonight's girls basketball matchup between the Pine City Dragons and the Ogilvie Lions. Ethan Game Day Gilman here, and I'm joined by a special guest this evening. That is Mac Nelson. Mac, first of all, thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
And we're covering another conference game for Ogilvie. They've already played one against Bram. It was a close game, but Bram did come out on top. And Bram has also kind of, in a way, played two conference games. They played Ogilvie, but they also played North Branch, which is the co-op with Rush City. So if you want, it's a conference game and a half, I guess you could give them. So, but they are 2-0 already on the young season, so good for that team. Of course, they are one of the favorites, not only in the conference there, Mac, but in their section as well to get back to that section championship. The interesting thing about this Bram and Ogilvie team, they split the series last year going into the playoffs. And Bram wound up coming out in the playoffs and beating this Ogilvie team. It was kind of lopsided, too. So it was very interesting to see how it kind of went. It was kind of Ogilvie and then Bram, and then it was like, who's going to take it? And that in the first half, it was close between those two teams, but Bram wound up coming out on top. But Ogilvie's got a lot of high aspirations, as does this Pine City Dragons team, and I cannot wait to see what these two teams develop into. Matt, can you imagine, or can you believe, rather, it's still the beginning of the season. Both these teams can only get better.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, especially with the kind of performance that we saw from Ogilvie against Bram last week. I covered that game with Adam in Bram, actually, and I was surprised at the outcome. Ogilvie really held their own against Bram, which is surprising, especially because you said that they were one of the favorites for the section and the in that sense. So it's going to be exciting to see what these teams roll into here. Obviously, potential from Pine City in many years, always are a competitor in the section there. But I'm excited to get this game down here underway.
Yeah, it should be a good one as we get set for this one. This one, I'm interested to see because Pine City had a really tough matchup there last week. It was a tough game. They played a really good team as we go ahead and take a look at their schedule. Of course, they are 0-1, gave up their 95 points, but they played probably the best team in the class, in Class 2A, which is also a conference team this year, which is it is good and bad. But they played Crosby Ironton there last week and fell, of course, 95-32. But you play a team like that, you're going to expect some bumps and bruises along the way, and you were down a couple players, and so you didn't have your full look. But again, I said it throughout the broadcast, that's the team that you're going to see in the playoffs at the state tournament. So if you want to get to the state tournament for the first time for this young girls basketball team, those are the teams you're going to have to beat. As we get set for this conference matchup between these two teams, again, both have, the last few seasons, have been very good in their own right. Conference-wise, section-wise, they've both been either close or in their section semifinals or championships here the last couple of years. And it's been really interesting to see, I don't want to say the turnover, because I don't know if that is the correct word to use. But both of these teams have had some significant players graduate in the last couple of years. Of course, last year we've seen it in a game here at Pine City. Ogilvie beat Pine City. It was another close one. I think it was another 2-point game. But we had two young ladies in that game who scored 63 and 61 points. It was bananas, to say the least. Both of those young ladies have now gone on to their collegiate careers. But these two teams are still kind of reminiscent of that. Both teams still have players from that team last year. Both teams have really athletic players, and the talent is there. but some of it may be the inexperience for both of these teams. I know you got to watch Ogilvie, so give us a little bit of the insight on this Ogilvie team.
Yeah, so Ogilvie likes to play quick. I mean, they like to shoot for sure. I mean, they obviously have one dominant player out there being Pierce, which is kind of reminiscent of what we saw last year with that player that you had talked about that has now gone on to their collegiate career. So them trying to find that footing after losing a prominent player in their offense, for that matter, it's tough to do. So this early on in the season, you never know how they're going to eventually turn up towards the sections there.
And that's what's so fun about it. Like we mentioned before, it is only the beginning of the season. So both these teams can only get better from here on out. And I mean, I say that, and I am being genuine because I watched this Pine City team. Yes, it was maybe quote unquote a lopsided victory for Crosby Ironton, but this Pine City team, they do have the talent. You've got some returning starters in Vivian Lottie, Mallory Klepper, Brooke Boland, to name the couple starters that were here last year. Other than that, it is very inexperienced in their bench area, but those players that come back have a ton of experience. As you look at it last year, man, they played some really good teams. They played Esco into overtime. That was a game where I think most people thought going into that second half, it was over. Pine City came out in that second half, and it was like, here we go. They're coming back. They're going to get the win. Sadly lost in overtime, but they played so many good teams. They beat Sauk Center for the first time in maybe ever. It had been a while. That was a team who kind of had been their bugaboo. I remember going back, I think it was 4 years ago now. It was Sauk Center. Both teams were, I think, 1-2 in the section going into the playoffs. Sauk Center came here. It was a low-scoring defensive game. Sauk Center won by 2. They had a rematch in the playoffs. Sauk Center won again. The next year, Pine City played Sauk Center in the playoffs. Lost to Sauk Center. It has just been a back and forth with those two teams. A little bit of a rivalry, if you will, and they finally beat Sauk Center last year, which was huge. Then again, the battle with Ogilvie twice during last season. Their first game, I mean, just a shootout, 82-80. And the second game was only another shootout, 89-82. Just two phenomenal games between those two teams. And then, of course, Pine City had a little bit of a letdown of some sorts. Late in that year, they lost 4 of their last 5 games to Ogilvie, Foley, Malacca, and Proctor before beating Royalton. They got into the playoffs, beat Spectrum, and then lost to Sauk Center once again. So they're looking for a little bit of revenge this year against that Sauk Center team. As we go over to Ogilvie right now, 1-2 on the season. You can see their offense right now, one of the top in the section, nearly 70 points a game. And I think for both Bram and Ogilvie, maybe not the height that you would see with some other of the top teams in the state, but it's the athleticism. It's the speed that these two teams play with. And that's what is going to set them apart from the other teams in the class, in their sections, because there may not be too many other teams that will outrun either of these two teams. But for Ogilvie, again, they lost to Pine River Bacchus. That is probably going to be one of the top teams in Section 5A. They beat Fond du Lac, Ojibwe, and then lost to Bram. But again, that loss was only 6 points. And Mac, I can bet you when those two teams play later in the year, that is probably going to be another close one. And I wouldn't doubt maybe Ogilvie would come out on top in that one. I think it's going to be another season like that. But for Ogilvie last year, they had a very good year, 24-4. A final record after losing in the section playoffs. Some of their losses, Walker Hackensack Akeley. Well, they went to the state tournament. Their other losses came to Cromwell Wright, another team that was close to the state tournament. They lost to Bram late in the season and then would finally lose to Bram in the section semifinals to go on to play Walker Hackensack Akeley. So this is a very good Ogilvie team again, but it's just, I think some of that inexperience will show at times. But again, playing the conference games like this early in the season, I think are only going to benefit both teams.
Yeah, another thing you said, partially with that inexperience on the Ogilvie team, also not having a super deep bench that they play. Like when they played Bram last week, they only played 6 girls the whole game, and you could tell that they were tired by the end of it. So they're going to have to work some of those younger girls into playing some varsity time just to even get breaks for the starting players out there.
Absolutely, and Pine City's not that much deeper. I think they went 8 last week, so both these teams not super deep. But again, I think it's a great opportunity for them to develop these younger players. And that's how you start to see these teams that go on to go 3-4 years winning the conference and not losing a game like Pine City did for 3, 4, 5 years in a row. So that's how you do it, is you get a team like this who is going to be good for both sides. You're going to have these two teams who are good, but they may just not have that record that everyone's hoping for, but they're going to get a playoff run, surprise a couple of teams, and then the years coming, you're going to go, whoa, where did this talent come from? Well, it's because these younger girls got to develop their talent early on and not necessarily forced into action either. So we're going to get a commercial break, a word from our fine sponsors. We'll come back, and we'll be that much closer to tip-off here in Pine City between the Ogilvie Lions and the Pine City Dragons here on Anthem Country, 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP.
Your local radio home for Minnesota Vikings football is WCMP.
Breaks another at the 30, and he's loose!
Your favorite hometown team with your favorite players.
Caught by Jefferson!
Don't miss the hits, the action.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Catch the excitement all season long.
And he caught it!
Minnesota Vikings football is on Cool Country 100.9.
WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back on here on WCMP Game Day. Gilman, Mac Nelson out here, Pine City High School for this Great River Conference matchup between the Pine City Dragons and the Ogilvie Lions. Conference looks a little bit different this year with adding Aiken, Crosby Ironton, and Mora into the conference. But I've talked with coaches around the conference, Mac, and they've only said good things about adding these teams. And I'm excited to see how it finishes up. I know Crosby's the favorite because of Tori Orline, obviously, and that team is deep. I would not be surprised if a team like Ogilvie, Bram, is able to go and get an upset against Crosby. I think we've got that kind of talent with those two teams. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen. But we're going to get our national anthem, then we'll get our starting lineups, and then we'll come back for tip-off here at Pine City High School. You're listening to girls basketball on Anthem Country.
The Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show, presented by Eskimo and Ion, returns December 13th through 15th.
Join us for the biggest sale of the year.
With great deals on thousands of ice fishing and winter sports products under one roof.
You can shop, compare, and save.
Special features include the thrilling Sea Lion Splash,
trout fishing in the frozen basin,
and pro fishing and cooking tips from experts in the ice box.
If there's too much to see,
come back a second day for free.
Come for the deals.
Stay for the fun.
December 13th through 15th at the Deck in Duluth.
ArrowheadIceShow.com.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, load up on deals like Heggy's Pizza, 2 for $16 with a new breakfast pizza available. Starbucks Frappuccinos are 2 for $7. Buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King Size for only $2. And fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon. Get ready for hunting and frying that turkey 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Anthem Country Game Day Gilman, Mac Nelson for this Great River Conference girls basketball game between the Ogilvie Lions and Pine City Dragons. Taking a look at your starters here tonight for the Ogilvie Lions. They are the visitors. It will be number 2, Aaliyah Robine. Then number 10, Ruby Byer. Number 21, Cadence Pierce. She should break all the records at Ogilvie once her career is done. Then number 34, Bethany Besser. And number 50, Sophia Halverson. You might recognize some of those names from last year's team. And again, that's why I think both these teams will be very good. On the other side for the Pine City Dragons, starting for them will be number 2, Mallory Klepper, number 3, Piper Metling, number 4, Paige Gray, number 11, Brooke Boland, and number 23, she's back this week, Vivian Lottie. Head coach for the Ogilvie Lions is Jonathan Nelson. Head coach for the Dragons is Patrick Judd. Had an interview with both these guys at the preseason. Great interviews with both those guys. Love talking to these local coaches, and just so nice to see their insight on the teams that they'll be coaching. So much fun, and it is a blessing, that is for sure. We had kind of talked about it off air, Mac. One of the things that I personally think will be a key for Pine City is they get one of their players back this week who was kind of on vacation last week in Vivian Lottie. We mentioned her sister. We talked about her sister, how she's playing D1 at UW Green Bay. I think adding her back this week will be huge for Pine City because it adds another piece of depth to that bench that they will have. So I think that'll be huge for them. But for Ogilvie, again, you can never count against Cadence Pierce either. So it's going to be a ton of fun. We are set for tip-off on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Mallory Klepper, Pierce, and Pierce is going to win it. Pierce will start with it. Byer has it, takes it up on the right side of the court. Over to Pierce. Not surprised, we'll call her name a lot. Besser on that far side. Wants to go to Pierce underneath basket. Instead gives it to Robine, top of the key. Now over to Byer. Byer gives it back to Pierce. Pierce guarded well by Boland. Boland, one of the better defenders in this conference. She is not afraid. Doesn't matter if you're the number 1 athlete in the nation or in the state or the bottom one. She will guard you relentlessly. Pierce gets around Boland, but there's Klepper, and he's going to be stolen away by Brooke Boland. So Boland with the steal. And now a 3 here. Gray misses, and it's rebounded by Cadence Pierce. No surprise on the far side. Robine for 3, no good. Rebound nearly by Byer, but it is lost out of bounds, and it will go back to the Dragons.
Defense coming out hot for Pine City there, right out of the gates, right up on Ogilvie.
And one of the things that I had talked about with Judd after their game last week against Crosby Ironton was their pace. They just didn't play with enough pace early on, and early on you see it here. Shot is up and missed by Gray. Vivian Lottie going to grab the rebound. She gives it out to Piper Metling, who's back. Then gives it off to Klepper on the far side for 3. Mallory Klepper gets the first points on the board. Near side, it's Byer with the ball. Guarded by Metling. Metling got the tip. She gets the steal. Metling is back, ladies and gentlemen. She takes it the distance, and it is up and no good. But Vivian Lottie there for the rebound. She's outside, and she is fouled. That is going to go against Bethany Besser. It'll be her first, team's first. So Besser will get her first foul. Dragons wearing their home green uniforms, the white letters and numbers outlined in black, the black trim on the waistband, the bottom of the shorts, the cuff of the jersey, and the neck. Shot is up, no good. It's Piper Metling there for the rebound. This one is no good, and it will wind up getting to Pierce for the rebound. Pierce looking to take it coast to coast. Nice move, and she drops it in for 2. Tied at, or excuse me, it's 3-2. I did forget that Dragons hit a 3. Boland will take it up the court, then give it off to Metling on the far side. Metling with it. Over the defender to Lottie. Lottie open for 3. Quick shot, no good, just off the side. But that rebound's up for grabs, and it's right to Piper. Piper will take it in, right to the free throw line. Gives it out to Boland on the near side. Boland for 3. That's off the mark, no good. Rebound up for grabs. It's between Boland's legs. And they're going to call jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Dragons. Ogilvie are wearing their white away uniforms. The orange numbers outlined in black. The black letters outlined in orange. The piping on their pants and jersey is orange and then black. Boland has it. Now over to Klepper. Klepper inside to Metling. Metling outside. Lottie for 3. Just off the mark, a little bit long. Pierce got the rebound. She's got the speed and the distance. She takes it, lays it in for 2.
Yeah, she's just an athletic player out there.
Very talented, and you give her an opportunity for a fast break like that, she's going to convert. Paige Gray for 3 on the pass from Klepper, no good. Rebound once again by Pierce. Pierce up the court. She'll give it back outside to Robine. Robine driving in. Shot is up. Ooh, and that is going to be one that I'll respectfully disagree with, but that was all ball. As they're going to get the foul there on Paige Gray. From my angle, that was all ball, but they are on the court, so they got a better look at it. Leah Robine will shoot 2. First one's up and good. The foul there was given to Paige Gray. Her first, team's first, as Robine will look to hit her second. This one's up and good as well. So she hits them both, and it's 6-3. Quick up the court, Gray, back to Lottie. Lottie gives it outside, Bolin. Bolin driving inside, stolen away by Pierce. She had it tipped, and Pierce to the basket, no good. Robine there, her shot no good, rebounded by Bolin. Up the court, that ball gets away from Metling, then picked up by Gray, outside Klepper, 3, no good. This bounces back to Gray for the rebound. Far side for Metling. Metling gets through a double team, has it stolen away. They're going to get a travel here on Robine after the steal, so it's actually going to go back to the Dragons on a turnover. And timeout called here early by Pine City with 14:47 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear liners with 3 locations, Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. We'll keep it here. Mac early on, a little bit of sloppy play by both teams.
Yeah, you get that when you start a basketball game. You know, after that first tip, the jitters kind of set in a little bit harder. I mean, you've been preparing for the game all week. So once you get out there and you get that defender on you, it's a whole different ball game. Nerves start to hit, palms start to sweat a little more. So I mean, you can see it from both teams. But I think once they both kind of settle into their element here, which this timeout might be about, I think it's gonna kind of just flow better from there. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's early on. I like the pace that Pine City's playing with. Both teams are playing with really good pace here early on. I think this is what Pine City's Patrick Judd wants to see from his team. But again, I think they need to play a little bit cleaner. And for Ogilvie, they're getting the turnovers. They're getting in the passing lanes. They're just not taking care of the basketball as well as they should. And the shots that they're not converting, that is something that they'll try to correct as well. Bowen will get the inbound from Gray over to Lottie. Lottie for 3, top of the key, just off the mark. And that rebound will be taken in by Bethany Besser, her first. She'll give it to Pierce, no doubt. Pierce trying to take it all the way, but there's Bowen once again. She'll give it off now to Robine underneath the basket. Shot is up. It rolls its way in for 2 to make it 8-3.
That's one thing that Ogilvie is great at, is being able to finish those shots down low.
Transition defense for Pine City has not been great. That'll be, I think, another key that they'll be looking at. Paige Gray wide open, far side corner. That is going to come up short. And, Mac, I think you know who got the rebound. Once again, it's Pierce, but that ball, going to be knocked out from behind by Bolin. And we'll see a substitution here for Pine City. Checking in for the first time here tonight is going to be Retta Ganote. She got some valuable time last week with Lottie out. And she did a good job. Got a ton of rebounds and made some plays. Inbound here to Pierce for 3. That's going to come up short and rebounded there by Klepper. She'll give it up the court quickly to Gray. Beautiful fast break pass, but the shot is no good, and Pierce is going to get another rebound. And those are the ones, Mac, that the Dragons got to have.
Yeah, we saw that in the Bram game against Ogilvie, and, I mean, look how close that game ended for them.
Ogilvie has it far side. Besser with it, waits, gives it to Robine, top of the key, now over to Byer. Byer getting closer to Pierce. Pierce guarded well by Bolin. She's looking for a screen, but instead we'll give it inside to Halverson. Halverson looking to bully her way past Klepper, but tries to pass and is stolen away by Paige Gray. Paige Gray will slow things down for the offense, take it up, give it off far side corner to Lottie. Lottie wanted to go back to Gray. She's guarded well. Tries to go inside to Gray. That was an ill-advised pass and is stolen away by Robine. That was one where the pressure was there. She felt it and just made unfortunately a bad pass. Paige Gray was there. She waited for Bolin, and shot is no good, but somehow Byer comes up with the rebound and lays it in for 2. If you're Pine City and their defense, that's almost inexcusable.
Yeah, for sure. You got to get bodies out there.
Got to have the rebound there. They could not get it. It's 10-3, 13 minutes to go here first half. Bolin will give it off far side. There to Ganote. Ganote double team, gives it to Klepper. Klepper far side, Bolin wide open 3. Going to come up well short. And rebound up for grabs. Klepper's going to come out of there with it. Klepper waiting. Wants to go Lottie inside. Lottie inside again to Bolin. Bolin shot is up and good, and the drought ends at 12:40. 10-5 now. Dragons get back on the board. They scored first, but had allowed 10 straight points from Ogilvie. Pierce with it. She'll go inside here to Besser. Besser underneath to Halverson, and that is going to go out of bounds. Halverson was simply not ready for that pass.
That was a great look. She got under the basket, realized she was in trouble, and tried to dish it off to someone who was wide open, and she just didn't quite turn her head fast enough to catch that pass.
Yeah, that was a smart idea on that pass, but again, just not ready for it was Halverson, and it'll be a turnover here. Pine City will get it back. Piper Metling back into the game. Checking in for the first time is Brecken Reiser. Early on, Mac, I'm noticing Pine City going to rotate bodies a little bit more than Ogilvie will.
Yeah, and I think that's necessary in order to keep the gas going in this game.
Klepper, long three, going to come up well short. And man, that was a good look for Klepper. It just felt like she didn't have the utmost confidence in that shot right there. Otherwise, that probably would have been drained. So we'll go back to Ogilvie. Pierce has it. She's guarded by Ganote. Retta Ganote, only a sophomore. So tall task as here's Robine for three. That is no good. And rebounded by Ganote. Ganote will give it to Bolin. Bolin, the clearing pass up the court to Klepper, and it's just long. And that's something we seen last week. Well, I seen last week, Mac, against Crosby Ironton, is when Pine City did get the chance for the fast break, the passes were, just long. Inbound here to Pierce now as the turnover gives it back to the Lions. Pierce, is pit-pocketed by Ganote. Ganote says, I know you're one of the better players. I do not care. I'm going to try and get it back for my team. Pierce going to take it all the way almost, and it does fall in.
What a move there by Pierce.
Nice move. As now Klepper has it. It's 12-5. Ogilvie with the lead. Gray going to drive inside. Back out here to Ganote. Ganote on the far side. Gives it to Gray. Gray wanted to go to Reiser. Instead gets around the defender Besser. Now over to Klepper. Klepper look for three to Reiser. Reiser gives it over to Metling. Metling, that's a foul. Yep. And they're going to get it called. So Metling getting it fouled. And I believe that was on Robine. We'll have to wait. Yes, it is. So that'll be Robine's first. Her team's second. Lottie and Bolin will check back in for Reiser and Klepper. And again, like you mentioned, not very deep for Ogilvie, so no surprise we haven't seen any substitutions for them yet. But again, at some point they'll have to start rotating in some younger players just to gain that depth.
Yeah.
Ganote almost got away with the travel there. She did get the pass off, I think, just in time. Bolin with the risky pass inside and battle for the ball. Are we going to get it? Jump ball, yes. The possession arrow favors Ogilvie. Metling was not ready to give that ball up.
No, but great defensive play by Ogilvie there. Jumping in passing lanes like you had mentioned.
Halverson left alone, and she drills the two underneath the basket. Pine City, something happened there where they just left her wide open, and you can't have that. But wide open here is Paige Gray looking to convert, and that's no good. Pierce again a rebound. Nearly double-digit rebound numbers for her already. Pierce trying to get around Bolin. Got that step, but Bolin, nice comeback there, and the rebound up for grabs is going to be Lottie who comes up with it. Last year she was a scrappy rebounder. She's showing that talent again this year. Pass again! Just too far for Pine City, and Pine City's going to take a timeout. And Mac, I think this timeout is just simply to say, we're right there. We're just we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, that pass was great. Through lanes, wide open coming down the court, and she just butterfingered it out of her hands there. Unfortunately for Pine City there.
We'll take a quick 30-second break here.
Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual are dedicated to a season of cheer. We wish you a very happy holiday season and the joy of spending time with family and friends. It is our gift to serve you, now and in the future. Celebrate this holiday season and trust in tomorrow. Contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent, at pineagency.us today, or call 320-629-2515 for all your insurance needs. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Inbound here to Pierce after the timeout. Obviously, Pierce, we mentioned more times than not.
Yeah.
She gives it off, though, to Besser. Besser on that far side. She's going to take the 3. That's... I'm not real sure how Pine City got away with a foul there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but she clearly got into Besser's body. And now you're allowed to get into the body, but she hit her. And
pretty hard at that.
She got into her body a lot harder than you might be able to get away with in other games. But looks like these refs might let them play here tonight, which, in a conference game like this, I think you're okay with. Klepper will take it to the basket. They're going to get that foul there on Halverson, so she'll get her first and the team's third. And that will send Mallory Klepper to the line to shoot 2. 10:01 to go here in the first half. Pine City trails 14-5. Klepper's first one no good. Or 14-5. Second one is rattled home. So 1 of 2 there for Mallory Klepper. Makes it 14-6. Here comes Byer the other way. She'll give it over to Pierce. Pierce on the far side to Besser. Besser waiting for the offensive play to set up. Wanted Byer, but Byer's guarded well by Gray. Now switch to that was Klepper, and it's going to be stolen away by Bolin. That another ill-advised pass by Ogilvie. Pine City will take it. High pass there to Metling. Had to get it over Pierce. Now to Gray from Metling. Now over to Vivian Lottie, top of the key. Lottie looks for a screen from Bolin. Now she wanted to go to Bolin. Instead goes to Gray. Gray switching back to the far side. Metling was open for a moment, but now she pulls in the ball. Had that one knocked out of her hands, so she'll get to re-dribble now because that one was knocked out of her hands. She'll take it inside. Oh, my goodness. Good shot. She gets her own rebound, but then it's knocked out of her hands. Vivian Lottie will come up with it. Bolin has it, takes it inside. Shot is up, no good. Lottie, no, it's going to be Bolin getting her own rebound. Pass outside to Gray. Bounce pass is going to be stolen away by Pearson. This is more than likely going to be 2. No, it was knocked out of her hands by herself. Wow. And a rare mistake by Pierce. That's one thing with Pierce. She's not only a good shooter and a really good defender. She's getting better as a defender. That's a lot of times what you'll see with players. They're really good at offense. Can they have the defense? She's really developed that over the years. That's a rare mistake you'll see from her because one thing she doesn't do is make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's why she is such a good player. Vivian Lottie will pass outside to Gray. 3-ball not working right now for Pine City as it is rebounded by Aaliyah Robine. She's going to take it up the court. She had numbers. It was 5-on-3 Ogilvie, but she waits for the offense to get set. Pierce trying to make a move on Bolin. She does. Shot is up. It's going to miss. But Halverson was right there for the rebound to put it back in for 2. Again, if you're Pine City, you can't let that happen. You got to get somebody there. Either way, it is 16-6. Ogilvie with the lead. Bolin driving inside to Lottie. Lottie turns around. That one could have been a foul as well, but they're going to let him play on, and the rebound there for Pierce. Pierce takes it just inside the perimeter, gives it outside. That shot for 3 is no good by Byer. And we'll get a jump ball call, possession arrow, Pine City. And for Ogilvie, they're going to be saying, man, we got to hit that one if you're Byer. Wide open. And, to be fair, I thought she could have actually taken a second to kind of take a breath.
Collect herself almost.
Yep, and kind of line it up a little bit better. But either way, it does go back to Pine City. Metling will pass inside to Klepper. 3 from Bolin, no good. Good look, though. Gray with the shot. Oh, it could have been another foul there. I think the rebound will technically go to Lottie, and then Bolin finally drops it in for 2. Man, oh man, that ball is up for grabs, but Pine City finally lays it in. 16-8. Pine City's cut it in half. Byer has the pass from Pierce, gives it far side to Besser. Besser gives it back to Byer near side. Going inside, Pierce guarded by Bolin. Shot is up and good. Not going to keep her off the board too long. 18-8. Bolin bringing it up the court for Pine City. She gives it over to Metling. Metling on the near side, inside to Klepper. Klepper goes back to Metling. Ooh, that was not a good idea there. There was too much traffic, too congested inside for that pass to go right back to Metling. It will be turned over, and it is Robine.
Pierce for 3. No good.
And it is going to be Ogilvie ball. It was last touch by Pine City, so it will be Ogilvie's ball here. And getting set to inbound, Ruby Byer. She wants to go to Robine. She does. Robine to Pierce. They're going to switch it up a little bit, Will Pine City. It will be Klepper guarding Pierce. Now she gives it over to Byer on the far side. Inside to Pierce. Still guarded by Klepper. Fadeaway shot, no good. And it's Klepper who's going to get the rebound. She's going to take it up the court herself, looking to go coast to coast. Instead, gives it inside to Bolin. Bolin shot up, no good. And Pierce right over everybody. He's got double-digit rebounds now. Oh, that's a travel. And did they catch it? They did. Yeah, Robine even knew it. That's why I think she didn't take the shot, because she knew it. I think she was stunned the whistle didn't come. But then the whistle did come late, and they got the whistle there for the travel. Checking in for the first time here tonight for the Dragons, Rhea Johnson.
Yeah, I think on that one she just, it was one of those startled moments where she turned her head after getting the ball, and there's a player there, so she had to pick it up, and it was called.
Lottie, a short two's going to rattle home. That's a smart shot there by Pine City. They could have easily tried to drive inside and said they just take what was given to them. I think they got to do a little bit more of that. A steal there by Vivian Lottie. Then she's fouled. That'll be the fourth team foul on Ogilvie. The first, I believe, on Besser. It's her second, excuse me. 6:20 to go here in the first half. A low-scoring first half. This is not what I was expecting here, Mac, between these two teams. I wasn't expecting 100 points, but I was expecting this to be a little bit higher scoring. As Reddick Ganote will take the shot from the free throw line. It is no good. Ruby Byer there for the rebound, and now we're going to get a foul on Ganote. So Ganote is going to miss the shot, then get the foul called. It'll be her first, team's second. 18-10 is the score, 6:09 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Their board-certified orthodontists are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere, plus they'll leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at EmbraceMN.com. Lottie checks out, and I believe in for her came, I think it was Klepper. Here come the Lions. Byer with it. Far side to Besser. Besser back to Byer. Oh, it goes through Byer's hands. She's going to get it back in time, though. Gives it over to Pierce on the near side.
Deep
for three. It's nothing but net, but the wrong kind of net. It was it was outside the basket, and now rebounded by Rhea Johnson. We've got a whistle here on Pierce. That's going to be her first. Team's fifth. Guarding Bolin. Fun thing about this is we're going to see a good chunk of both of these teams back next year, and I can't wait for that either. But these two teams, I'm not sure if they meet up twice this year, so this might be the one and only. But I'll have to check the schedule. It's too long to look.
Yeah.
Over here, pass to Ganote. It's going to come up short, and Besser knew that. She's there for the rebound, and Pierce quickly breakout pass to Robine. Shot is up and no good. A little bit too strong on that one. Klepper has it. Tiptoes the sideline, keeps it inbounds, gives it to Bolin. Bolin bringing it forward up to Klepper. Klepper trying to drive inside, back outside. Ganote for three. Good look. Shot no good. Rebound up for grabs. It's going to be Byer who winds up with it. We got to give a lot of credit to Robine there because she ripped the rebound out of Pine City's hands. A three there from Robine, no good. It's Rhea Johnson again with the rebound. You know, Rhea Johnson coming off the bench, and she's only a freshman, getting 2 rebounds already. Those are big. Piper Metling through a lot of traffic, lays that one in for 2. Great shot there by Piper Metling. And when we got a chance, we'll take a look at that Rush City Auto replay. Robine had it nearly stolen away, but she gives it inside Pierce. Pierce, shot no good. Halverson's there for the rebound, gives it outside to Robine, to Besser. Back to Robine. She's guarded by Johnson. Ooh. How they've let them play, I'm surprised that was a foul.
Yeah, I think she may have fallen forward a little bit on that call, drawing that foul, which I don't think it was a bad call by any means.
No, I don't think it was a bad call. I just am surprised at how much they've let them play to call one that was a little bit lighter than others. Be the third team foul on Pine City first for Rhea Johnson. Good passing on the inbound here. Pierce will give it over to Besser. Besser for 3 after Vivian backs off. Shot is up, no good. Metling had it in her left hand. Just couldn't quite grab it. It was more on her fingertips. Good effort, though. I think we see now Pine City's in much better position for rebounds defensively. There's still a gap that they shouldn't have as the inbound goes way over everyone. Bolin has it. She'll take the distance, drops it in for 2. It's 18-14, and all of a sudden, the Pine City Dragons have mounted the comeback, and Ogilvie is going to use their first timeout. While they do that, we'll take one as well You're listening to girls basketball on WCN.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Oh, not just Arrowhead. We got Embrace Orthodontics, Holiday Station stores. I mean, we got so many sponsors. Burnett Dairy, Lee's Pro Shop, A&W, Burnett Dairy Cooperative, obviously. Well, yeah, I mean, there's just so many. Pine Tech, A&W. I can't even name them all. So I apologize if I missed any. You're not trying to, but there's just so many, and we want to give a huge shout out to all of our fine sponsors. As Ogilvie out of the timeout does get the inbound. Bessler with it. She gives it over to Robine. Robine trying to get around the freshman Rhea. Oh, we got a quick whistle there.
Must have had an angle that we didn't have.
And they're also going to say it's a shooting foul. I'm going to respectfully say I don't know where that would have come from. I think they called it on Vivian Lotti, which would be her first, team's fourth, and the shot from Robine is good, but I don't think I didn't see where it came from, but I certainly don't think that was a shooting foul.
No, I didn't quite catch it either, but maybe they saw something we did not.
Robine will hit both of her free throws, make them up again by 6, 20-14, 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Metling with it. She gives it off to Gray. Gray over to Klepper. Klepper at the elbow, and she drives just inside. And that was an awkward shot, and unfortunately, nearly getting the rebound was Beyer. She lost it out of bounds, and it will stay with the Dragons catching a break there. That was one, Mac, for Klepper, where maybe she could have even taken one more step to square herself up and take that shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Just rushed it a little bit. Metling has it now. Bolin will go inside to Klepper. They want to go back to Bolin, but again, there's just so much congestion in there. I feel like that one needs to go back outside. Robine will get the steal. Driving inside on Paige Gray. Oh, bodies are falling, and again, that's one where, man, they've let them play hard. Vivian Lotti will get the rebound. Bolin going to take it coast to coast, and that a little bit too strong on that layup. A little bit too far outside as well, as Beyer will get the rebound. Just feels like right now for Pine City, rushing some of these shots.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think it's just something that has to do with Ogilvie's defense, honestly.
With it is Robine, nearly had it stolen away. Paige Gray, she's just swatting at the ball. She wants it. She wants it bad. And now the pass here to Beyer, knocked out by Vivian Lotti. All of a sudden, this Pine City defense in this second half of this first half has all of a sudden come alive. It has been really good to see this transition. Cadence Pierce has it top of the key, trying to get around Bolin. Bolin, great defense, gives it back outside Besser. Besser going to drive in. Side, we got a illegal screen. I personally did not see that.
I did not either.
But I think he kind of went to his knee. So I'm guessing maybe the offensive player picked up her knee, whether to run or whatever, and got into the defender. And that was actually called on Cadence Pierce. So interesting. Oh, and then Pine City. A big mistake. Paige Gray on that far sideline had her heel on it. Oh, my goodness. And it's not that she wasn't aware of where she was on the court. It just as simply as she was there and didn't realize it.
Yeah, court awareness out there.
So the Ogilvie Lions, well, I guess the foul won't hurt them. This ball up for grabs, and Paige Gray is going to get the steal. She'll give it over to Rhea Johnson. Mallory Klepper, 3, comes up short, and Vivian Lotti is going to grab the rebound. She'll give it out to Rhea Johnson. Johnson over to Klepper. Klepper Near side corner for three, Brooke Bowen. It's no good. Cadence Pierce is going to grab the rebound. Just 1 point, or 2 points rather, away from a double-double already in the first half. She'll drive inside, just outside the basket. No good. It is going to be rebounded by Halverson. Her pass will go back outside to Besser. Besser will reset. Vivian Lottie nearly gets the steal, but it's Pierce inside. Nice move again. Drops it in for 2. She's got 10 and a double-double. Man, oh man. Passing by Ogilvie has just been phenomenal in this first half. Klepper finds a lane, gives it outside. Lottie, no good. Their perimeter shooting right now is well under 30%, and that's kind of the standard. And Pierce takes it coast to coast, drops it in, plus the N1.
Yeah, you see that quite a bit from Pierce. She likes to finish strong no matter how many defenders she's got on her out there.
We're going to get this one on Paige Gray, her second, team's 5th, and Pierce will be at the line for a possible 3-point play. Klepper will take a break. Metling back out there. Pierce, good. So the 3-point play. And we'll get a substitution here. And this will be our first sub of the night here for the Ogilvie Lions. And it will be number 4, Mia Schultz.
That was the only sub that they played against Bram as well. So we'll see if they bring out more people from the bench or not.
25-14 Dragons after that nice run. Bolin is going to take the 3. Ah, man, just hasn't been there for Pine City tonight outside the perimeter. Vivian Lottie tried to knock that one away to get it back for her team, but will go out of bounds. And Ogilvie head coach Jonathan Nelson trying to get his team lined up correctly, and Pierce just wasn't ready. She was trying to get a drink. She had a smile, though, as her coach was urging her to get out there quickly. Pierce wanted to go to Byer. She wasn't open. Instead goes to Besser. She wants to go now to Robine. Robine has it. Oh, almost a travel. She's going to have it stolen away anyways by Lottie. Lottie, that ball got away from her on that dribble. It does again. She'll give it outside Rhea Johnson. She's double teamed. Gives it near side elbow for Piper Metling. Too many names, I guess. 25-17, Piper Metling for 3. Here's Byer with it. Back to Pierce. Pierce gets a nice screen, doubled up the defenders on one player. Her shot is up, no good. Halverson nearly got the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Brooke Bolin. And if you're Pine City, I think you're okay with that there, because now you're at least getting in the head of Halverson, saying you're not going to get easy rebounds now.
Yeah, for sure.
Pierce will inbound, trying to get it to Besser. And Rhea Johnson says, no, ma'am. Inbound this time, we'll get to Besser. Now to Robine, to Pierce. Gets a screen, but Bolin gets around it. Bolin guarding her well. Bolin trying to watch her hands, not going to foul. Shot up from Pierce, no good. Halverson is going to get there for the rebound. And that's one of the first times tonight we're going to get a foul on Pine City for that, because they've been doing that all night. And again, they're not being malicious about it by any means. They're just trying to knock it out of her hands, but that's the first time they've actually called it, which I thought is very interesting. So it will go against Brooke Boland. It will be their 6th. Both teams have 6 team fouls. Ogilvie will get set to inbound here. Byer to Besser for 3. No good, and that's off of, that was off of Pierce last. That was a clear Pine City ball. Just a mistake by the referees. I don't blame them, because that bounced off of 3 different people, but it was Pierce who definitely touched it last. So we will inbound, though. Byer to Besser. Besser with 20 seconds to go, over to Robine, trying to go inside to Halverson. Halverson's shot is up. Don't know if it was tipped or not, but it's no good. Rebounded by Rhea Johnson.
10 seconds left.
Metling up the court. Gives it over to Rhea Johnson. Rhea Johnson picks up her dribble. Gives it inside Bolin. Bolin shot behind the back. It's good! And the last second shot for Pine City is drilled by Brooke Bolin, and that is huge for Pine City going into the half. It may not seem like much, Mac, but that is big if you can score right at the end of a half. 25-19, the Ogilvie Lions lead here at halftime on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Halftime here in Pine City. Dragons trail by 6 to the Ogilvie Lions in this Great River Conference matchup. We'll be back. We'll recap this first half and maybe even get you some updates from games going on around our local listening area But on this station, it's Pine City and Ogilvie.
106.5 1350 AM is your home for Packers football.
It will be Green Bay football. Crowd was roaring.
Get all the action every game.
There he goes. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. He leaped into the end zone. Touchdown.
The hits, the touchdowns, the Lambeau leaps. Live Packers action every game.
There is your dagger.
Catch every game locally. 106.5 FM or 1350 AM. WCMP.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, the Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 has got a quick meal on the go for you. $3 gets you a hot snack or hot dog, chips, and a Polar Pop. $4 for a breakfast sandwich, hash brown, and medium coffee. Or $5 gets you a personal pizza and a 20-ounce Pepsi. Get snacking. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
On WCMP, Anthem Country, 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Game Day Gilman, joined alongside by Mac Nelson here. At halftime, it is 25-19. I know we've got one of our Rush City Auto replays to show you here. There you see the missed three by Robine, and she gives it back to Metling, and then Metling brings it up the court herself, and she'll drive inside, and I mean, just look at the traffic she's in there. That was just, that's really cool to see that Metling was able to get all the way through that traffic. As we'll go back and look at it again, you can see she drives inside, takes it to the right side, and then right there, she's got three defenders around her, three of them. She does have her teammate underneath, which that would be good for a rebound, but look, then she's got a fourth defender just underneath the basket herself as well. So you've got basically a 4-on-2 situation, and Metling lays this one up over everybody, drops it in for two. Just an awesome play there by Piper Metling. And not only that, for her to be able to be playing like this, coming back off an injury, off a knee injury that kept her out of all last year. I mean, you just got to feel good for her. That's awesome to see her doing well. But in this one, Ogilvie does lead at halftime 25-19. Taking a look at the first half stats, the Lions were led in scoring by Cadence Pierce with 13, also in rebounds with 11. Then it was Aaliyah Robine with 6, 4 for Sophia Halverson, and 2 for Ruby Byer. Then they had 5 steals, 3 from Robine and 2 from Pierce. They were 5 of 5 from the free throw line with 6 team fouls. On the other side for Pine City, they were led in scoring by Brooke Boland with 8, 5 for Piper Metling, and 4 for Mallory Klepper. Leading them in rebounds, it was Vivian Lottie with 6 of them. 2 points, I should mention, for Vivian Lottie there in that first half. Don't want to miss giving her credit. Then it was Mallory Klepper with 4. They had 8 steals, 3 for Brooke Boland, 2 for both Paige Gray and Vivian Lottie. They were 1 of 2 from the free throw line with 6 fouls themselves. And Mac, your impressions from that first half?
I mean, Ogilvie came out swinging right from the gate. They obviously scored second, but they kept Pine City at bay for that majority of the beginning of that first half. So to see that coming from this team is really exciting because we're going to be able to see what that develops into. But then Pine City being able to come out and have such a good rebound off of that slow start and really find their footing and find their defensive playing is really exciting to see as well. So, I mean, both teams are coming out and playing a great first half, and it's just an exciting game so far, and the second half is going to be even better, we can assume.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be a lot better, and like you mentioned, Pine City did score first with that free three from Mallory Klepper, but then Ogilvie piled it on with 10 straight points, 10 unanswered points. Then Pine City was able to score, and from there on, it was kind of back and forth from that point on. So it has been a really good first half. I think for me, we've seen both teams kind of rush some shots. I think Pine City more than Ogilvie, and I think if Pine City can kind of settle things in, I think they just need to settle in a little bit. You talked about the jitters that a team would have. I think they're still going a little bit high for Pine City right now. So I think if they can get rid of some of those, shake them off, so to speak, for Taylor Swift, and get rid of some of those, I think they'll be in a good spot. For Ogilvie, it's been a little bit of the rebounding offensively right now. They've got the shots, they've got the open shots, but they need to get the offensive rebounds. As good as they have done with Halverson underneath, they could still be a little bit better. And they've also had a good amount of turnovers, too, offensively. We've seen, especially late in the half, the steals, the blocks, and the just pit-pocketing players Pine City was doing in the later parts of that first half was fun to see. But for Ogilvie, you got to be saying to yourselves, got to be cleaner. Definitely got to be cleaner. And both sides do, but I think those are some of the things that I'm looking at for both sides that I would say, hey, here's what you need to improve on. Here's what needs to get better. For Pine City, I think they're leaving some shots out there. We talked about them rushing a few, but I think we've seen some of their open shots that they've had, and they just haven't taken them. I think a little bit is because of the jitters, but because of the confidence, too. Obviously, we've seen that three ball just hasn't worked for them here in this first half. I say keep shooting it in the second half. One's going to fall, and then the next is going to fall. So I think for Pine City, I think you just got to continue to keep shooting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, the more you shoot the ball, the more it's going to fall. They're missing a lot right now, but in the second half, it could all change. It could start falling for them, and that could totally change up the pace of play out here. One thing that you had talked about is Pine City, you think they need to slow it down and settle in. I'm going to say the opposite for Ogilvie. They tend to play really fast, and it works in their favor because they're getting transition points, and they're catching the defense off guard out here. So if they can keep that up, they can keep getting those points, so just keep them barely ahead. Keep them determined out there, if you're understanding me.
Yeah, and I think that is a key because Pine City's transition defense was not getting back in nearly enough time. But I think for Ogilvie, their offense was also not as fast as they would like to see it. So I do agree with you there. I think for Ogilvie, they do need to speed things up a bit because you play with speed like that, you're going to tire out a team sooner than later. And if you, like you mentioned, if you can just stay just a little bit ahead, sooner than later, you're going to start to pull away because 2 points ahead is going to turn into 3, then it's going to turn into 6, 9, 12, and then it's going to be a 20-point lead. So for Ogilvie, if they can continue to do that, but for Pine City, keep playing aggressive defensively. They've done a good job. They turned up the heat here in the later parts of that first half, and they benefited from that. Again, 8 steals, and that's not including turnovers. That's just steals that they got, and a majority of those came in the later parts of that first half. Over in Ogilvie, it is Pine City and Ogilvie playing in that boys game, but the Pine City boys up in that one at the half, 62-4. Now, again, it is game 1 for boys, so I never take game 1, 2, or even 3 for that matter as a staple of what a team's going to be. Because you just never know. I mean, you look at teams like, we looked at the section standings to begin the season, Albany. Albany's 0-2. I don't know if that's happened in the last 5-6 years for Albany, but we also don't know the teams they played. The one team they played, really good, or at least it seems, so you just never know early on how good a team is going to be. And I don't think Ogilvie is as bad as what the score says. I think they're going to be a much better team. But, again, Pine City, we talked about it off air. They're returning like 6, 7, 8 senior starters from last year's team, so they're going to be a team that is going to have to be reckoned with this season. So it should be fun to watch. I know Adam Hefty is over at a game in Bram for that boys game between Bram and Mille Lacs. His game started a little bit late, so his game not at halftime yet. We'll try and get you an update there from that game as well. Of course, you can stay tuned to all of our local stations and keep up with sports on the morning shows on both stations, our websites, and our social medias. We're going to take another commercial break, then we'll be back for second half action on WCMP.
The Arrowhead Ice presented by Eskimo and Ion returns December 13th through 15th.
Join us for a fantastic family adventure.
The crowd favorite Sea Lion Splash offers multiple thrilling performances each day.
Try your luck at catching a trout in our frozen basin for prizes.
Learn fishing secrets from pros at the Icebox.
Along with cooking demos from Field and Flame.
If there's too much to see,
come back a second day for free.
Come for the deals.
Stay for the fun.
December 13th through 15th at the Deck in Duluth.
ArrowheadIceShow.com.
Welcome back here on WCMP for tonight's matchup. It's Mac Nelson joined by Ethan Gilman. Again, like I said with Adam, it sounds just a little weird to say for me because it's always I'm joining you. But tonight I'm taking over for the second half here. We had a great first half between the Ogilvie Lions and the Pine City Dragons tonight. And coming out hot in the second half here, we got a 25-19 lead with the Lions, starting off with the ball here. Pierce will pass it into Byer. Byer will bring the ball up for the Lions. Pass it over to Besser. Besser's looking down low, can't find it. Over to Byer. Byer's going to drive down the right-hand side. Looks back for O'Bien. Well defended there. Up to Besser. Over to Pierce. Pierce for three. No good. Tries to get it back in from O'Bien. Not quite going to get it there.
Yeah, O'Bien, it was in good position to try and swat that one in, but it took just a nasty, tough bounce out of bounds, and there was almost no shot at that one.
Yeah. So we got Gray bringing the ball up here. Over to Metling for three. No good. A little bit long. Rebounded by Byer. Not quite going to get a hold of it there.
Yeah, it was knocked out by Pine City. They realized Metling had missed the shot, and they were like, wait, we got to get this rebound out of her hands. And unfortunately, they did, but just a little too hard.
For sure. Byer brings the ball up for the Lions, which is, tries to steal it there. Shot goes up from Besser. No good. Rebounded by Pierce. Pierce gets it in there for 2 points for the Lions.
At her 12th rebound of the night, and I think about her 5th putback.
Yeah. Klepper with it on the 45. Looks for Bolin, not good. Shot goes up. Rebounded by Halverson. Over to Pierce.
That shot just a little bit too hard on that one from Klepper. Right idea, just a little too much sauce on it.
Yeah. Pierce over to Byer. Byer gets it to Besser at the top of the key. She's going to drive, dumps it off to Byer. She's going to pass it over to Pierce for three. No good. Rebounded by Pierce. Bobbled around by the Dragons there. Halverson is left open down on the box, and that's going to be 2 points for the Lions.
That is what you can't have if you're Pine City. First of all, you give up the rebound. Second of all, you let Halverson all alone underneath the basket. That's the mistake we talked about in the first half, and you just can't have it.
Yeah, and they've done that a couple times tonight now. Gray gets it down low. It's going to be tipped off of the Lions. It stays here for the Dragons.
Yeah, that was close. Halverson in the lane, getting her hand in there, nearly got it for the Lions.
Bolin, the inbounder for the Dragons. Gets it to Gray. Gray's going to drive around up to Lottie. Drives down the middle. Dumps it off to Klepper. Klepper to Bolin. Passes it out of bounds. Looking for Gray on that one.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because I don't know if it was Bolin, and Bolin tapped her chest, so it seems like Bolin may have thrown that one a little bit over Gray's head. I think she was expecting Gray to move back outside the perimeter a little bit because she would have had the open three, but just a little bit of miscommunication there between the two, and Pine City calls a timeout because of it.
Yes. So what are we seeing right out the gates from these two teams that we didn't see in the first half?
Well, I think the one thing that we see is Ogilvie is getting off to a much better start. They're coming out and executing at a higher rate than Pine City. Pine City seems to, I don't want to say they're reverting back to what happened in the first half, how they started, but it almost feels that way. They're certainly, they definitely are a lot better. Everything's running a little bit smoother, I think, but there are some things where it's like, these were some of the mistakes in the first half that we're seeing. So I think it's a little bit of mind games with themselves. If they can get out of their own head, I think we'll start to see them turn the corner.
Yeah, I think they'll start to gain some confidence here. The momentum will start building, and hopefully it turns around for them. But the Lions coming out with a hot start here in the second half, extending that lead to 10 points.
Now, it's only 4 points for Ogilvie, but like you mentioned, it extends their lead out to 10, which, as we talked at halftime, It's 10, then it's 12, and then all of a sudden it's out of hand. I don't think this
Yeah.
one's going to get out of hand. I still think it's going to be single digits at the end. But, for Ogilvie, they're putting pressure on Pine City right now.
For sure. So we bring it back here. Inbound to Pierce. Full court press by Pine City here. Byer passes it off to Pierce again.
Byer did a good job to stop and not get the travel call there.
Pierce tries to get across the Robine. It's going to be tipped in the lane by Klepper there.
It was, and then Robine touched it. I think Robine might have gotten lucky there because I think she might have touched it last, but I think Metling may have touched it again as it went out of bounds.
Yeah. Robine on top of the key. She thought about it. Gets it over to Besser for 3. It's going to be good for an Ogilvie Lions three-pointer.
That was not the cleanest look, nor was it the cleanest shot, but she got it to fall nonetheless.
It fell, yeah. Klepper brings the ball up Gray, my apologies. Passes it over to Boland at the top of the key. Boland gets a screen. She's trying to do something with it. Over to Klepper. Klepper to Lottie for 3. No good. Rebounded. Lottie again for 2. And it's no good again. Over to Boland, and she's going to get fouled in the lane. Shooting 2.
For Klepper there, she had an open shot from 3. She decided to pull it down, get a closer shot because those shots just haven't been falling from outside. I think that was a mistake because she had her teammates underneath for the rebound, so I think she should have taken the chance there. But Boland winds up getting fouled anyways to shoot 2.
And the first free throw was good. Free throws win games.
They certainly can, and Pine City at this point now just over 50% at 2 of 3.
Second free throw is also going to fall for Brooke Boland tonight. Full court press being applied by Pine City. Pierce easily going to bring it up the left-hand side of the court. Little toss up to Halverson, fouled in the lane.
Oh, no. I'm going to respectfully disagree there, Lottie. She had her hands up the whole time. She did not come down at all. The way she paused because she was so shocked was the way she was when she got called for the foul. That unfortunately should not have been a foul. Well, it's going to be on Lottie anyways.
First free throw is going to trickle out. I thought that was falling.
So did I. I thought it was going to wind up bouncing its way in. Unfortunately, it didn't.
Her second free throw. A little too hard on that one, but the rebound is by Halverson herself. Tries to get it out to Besser. She's going to step out of bounds while saving it there.
And Besser is okay, which is good. You never want to see anybody get hurt. But, yeah, that was a tough sequence there for Pine City. But they come out of it not allowing a point, so down only by 11 now.
Gray now passes it over to Metling. Metling to Lottie. Lottie's going to drive with it, dumps it off, over to Metling again. Metling back out to Klepper for 3. It's not going to fall. Man. Rebounded by Pierce. And she's trying to take it all the way. Gets held up there by the Dragons. Passes it over to Besser for 3. And she gets it to fall again.
Yeah,
that's another one.
It's almost like it's going to start falling for one and not for the other, unfortunately. And Pine City, it's really unfortunate because they have had umpteen amounts of good looks from outside the perimeter. They just haven't been able to get them to fall. But all of a sudden, Besser now getting hot in the second half.
Lottie went for the layup, no good. Rebounded by Halverson, fought for it, and she comes up with it.
Wow.
Gives it to Pierce, brings it down the right-hand side. She drives, dribbles around. Besser for 3.
Yep.
And she does it again. 3 in a row. She's feeling the confidence now.
Well, and one thing, too, Pine City's nowhere to be found on Besser. They're getting inside because Pierce is drawing all that attention inside, and she's just dishing it back out to Besser, and Pine City's nowhere to be found defensively.
Boland underneath, goes up with it,
oh
and
my
she
goodness.
Gets it to fall. That was a tough shot.
Well, and they made the pass to her late.
Yeah.
She was wide open. They made the pass to her late, and she still converted the 2.
That was a great shot up there.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back really good shots from both teams. That was a phenomenal
Pierce tries to get it down low to Robine, and she's
oh my goodness,
ran into on that one.
First we get no foul, and then I think we got the wrong call. I think that maybe should have been Pine City's ball, but again, they're a lot closer down there, so we'll stick with what they call.
So Byer's going to pass it in for the Lions. Gets it to Pierce.
I don't know if I'd leave her alone from that far. I know
she likes to shoot it.
She can shoot it, and I wouldn't put it past her to shoot from that far.
Drives in the middle, is held up, gets it to Besser, who's heavily guarded outside now. Tries to drive in with it, held up at the top of the key. And a foul is going to be called on Bolin there.
That's going to be her team's second. Yeah, that's unfortunate. She kind of knew it too. She went in
across
to try and get that ball, and unfortunately she got the hand. And
yeah,
that's always going to be called. Well, I shouldn't say always. It will sometimes not be called.
Pierce has it at the top of the key, inbounded by Byer. Drives in with it, gets it out to Besser.
Riser.
Screen. Besser for 2. Rebounded by Halverson, out to Robine for 3. No good, a little too hard on it. Rebounded by Pierce on the another three-pointer. Just not quite on the mark. Rebounded by Bolin there. She's going to bring it up for the Dragons. She's looking to take it all the way. Tries to get it down there to Ganote. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds by the Lions.
Ogilvie's not happy with the call. I think it is the correct call, though, because it wound up bouncing back into Ganote, but I think it bounced first out of bounds. So I think this was the correct call. I know Ogilvie's going to be upset with it, but I think that was the correct call.
That's going to be Klepper for 2. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Halverson. No, I agree with that. I didn't get the best view of it, so I don't really have that much input on it. Besser thought about it. Besser back out to Pierce. Pierce shoots it for 3, and that's going to fall. She likes to shoot it from long range.
And believe it or not, that's only her first she's gotten to fall here tonight from three-point range. So for Pine City, you got to feel okay with that. But now all of a sudden, Ogilvie's starting to heat up with their shots. And we look at Pine City as they take a timeout. They've just kind of, the energy.
Yeah.
It's gone. They need something positive to go their way. They just need a spark because it just seems like, again, I think a lot of it is the mental side of things. I think they're battling with themselves right now mentally.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a run like that come from Ogilvie, when you kept it at such a close game in that first half, and then to have them come out and go on a run like that and change that momentum into their favor, that can really set a team back when it comes. And I think a timeout call is a pretty good call by the coach there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Pine City, they'll only have 2 remaining throughout the second half. Don't forget the annual Santa's Hotline is coming up next Friday. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua Miron and Santa will be live on WCMP and KBK Friday the 13th from 6 till 8. You can call in to the local number and talk with Santa. That is a special event. Be sure to call in. I don't know how Josh does it, but it's only Josh who could get Santa to come down from the North Pole during his busy season to talk because Josh is just that crazy. That's the only guy who could do it. So be sure to tune in next Friday.
Coming out from that timeout, we have 12 minutes and 18 seconds left. Lions hold a 41-23 lead over the Pine City Dragons tonight. Bringing up the ball for the Dragons is Boland, guarded by Pierce. She's going to give it over to Lottie on the 45. Dumps it off to number 15, Brecken Reiser. Over to Klepper in the corner, drives in and misses the easy 2. Rebounded by Besser.
That was unfortunate because she had the open look and just gave a little too much juice on that one. She needed just a little bit less on that because she made it past Halverson, and that's been a big issue for Pine City here tonight is getting past Halverson, who has just been down low underneath the basket all night long, but she finally got around her and missed that shot, and now we get one that goes out of bounds by Ogilvie, so Pine City will get it back.
Yeah, I think she got down there and a little excited. She's like, whoa, there's nobody here. And
sometimes you can be too open.
Yeah, didn't quite know what to do with it. So Klepper passes it over to Ganote. Ganote to Lottie, drives in, guarded heavily, over to Reiser. Looks about it. Ganote for 3. Not going to fall. Rebounded by Pierce for the Lions. Looks up court to Besser. Finds her. Oh, grabbed well by Ganote. And it's going to be called out of bounds on her.
Yeah, Ganote had a really good defensive play. Not only did she get Besser to stop on her layup, she also got her to hesitate, and she slapped the ball out. And unfortunately there for her, for Ganote, she was just out of bounds when she went to get that ball. Otherwise, it would have been Pine City ball. Great play by Ganote.
Counter argument, I think that Besser had a great offensive play there. She stopped and shot faked and got Ganote to go for it. Robine under the basket. That's going to be good for Alliance. 2 points.
That's one where you almost can't have it, but there's nothing you could do about that just because it was such a phenomenal shot by Robine.
Boland looking to do something with it. Gets it over to Metling for long two. Not going to fall. Lots of bodies. Rebound going over to Metling again. She's going to drive with it.
Oh,
almost
probably should have been a foul.
Oh, and then a foul will be called. Boland's going to the free throw line.
Well, they could have got one on the defender who was on Metling as well, but they let that one go. They let them play a little bit, and then Boland, she was able to draw the foul. But, man, just tight defense here by Ogilvie.
First free throw from Boland is not going to be good.
And she throws her arms up as almost if to say, how did I miss that?
She looked a little confused. I mean, free throws they're called free throws.
Yeah.
I mean, free baskets, essentially. The second one is going to fall for her. Pierce will pass it into Byer, who's going to bring the ball up for the Lions. Byer over to Pierce at the top of the key. Back to Byer in the corner. Looks for Halverson down low. She's going to get it, and that's going to fall for two.
Yeah, Pine City just doesn't have anybody to really answer Halverson right now. She is the tallest player on the court, there is no doubt. And when you don't have the height.
Robine steals it away from Lottie. That's good for two. Sorry to cut you off there.
Oh, no, that's the right thing to do there because that was a good steal. I mean, Robine didn't necessarily pickpocket, but she just picked up the steal and did what she had to do with it.
Halverson with the rebound off that. Looks up court to Robine with it. She's going to slow things up. Gets it over to Byer on the three-point line. Looks down low to Halverson. Mismatched. No good. Rebounded by Pierce. Puts it back up for another 2 points. Extending the Lions' lead.
Yeah, I saw this timeout coming.
Timeout's going to be called. I think. Go for it.
It's a snowball effect right now for Pine City. It's one bad thing after another, and it's just kind of snowballing for them right now. And you're trying to stop it before it becomes unstoppable. But Ogilvie's kind of making it unstoppable for Pine City right now. But you still got plenty of time left here in this one for Pine City. But again, Ogilvie is just kind of running on all cylinders at this point.
Yeah, they have a good momentum going there, and it's hard to stop that coming from Pine City's side of it. I mean, they just have that momentum, and you got to have a big momentum shift on your side of the court for that to be positive.
So Bram is up on Mille Lacs, 46-16 at half. Their coach, unfortunately, got ejected, unfortunately, for Mille Lacs there. So, unfortunately for them. But, again, sticking up for your players. You know, you get a little too heated. I'm sure it was nothing malicious, just trying to stick up for his players. We got great coaches in this area.
Gray bringing up the ball, gets it over to Boland on the 45, trying to set something up. Screen set by... So it's going to stay here. Tipped out of bounds.
That was a good defensive play there by Ogilvie, but for Pine City, Boland, good job taking that shot. A tough one nonetheless, but good job.
Unverzagt for three.
Nice job. Good. That is Kate Unverzagt for three. That's a good-looking shot, too.
Yeah. Ogilvie Lions quick to get it back onto their side of the court, and Pierce puts it up for two. That's a good offensive play there.
It's one of those where you just go, well, that happened.
Yeah. Klepper with the ball in the 45 now. Dribbles into the middle of the lane. Looks for a long two. Picks up her dribble, though. Unverzagt airballed it that time. Tipped out of bounds by Boland. Besser was trying to get it over to Pierce to bring the ball up.
Yeah, Pine City, that was a good look from Unverzagt again, but unfortunately just a little bit short, and it feels like they've been short on a lot of these, and it feels like a confidence thing, and maybe it's just because they need to get those shots to fall a little bit more, but it's been tough going tonight for three. Oh, and Unverzagt, man. Another good play defensively by Pine City, just couldn't keep it for themselves.
Yeah. Pierce was looking for Halverson on the back cut. Inbound to Pierce. Shot's going to go up, not going to fall for her. Rebounded by Boland, my apologies. She's going to bring the ball up, and it's going to be stolen away by Robine in that passing lane. And she's going to get a foul called on her.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass there. That was into a ton of traffic. Robine had the edge. There was, unfortunately, that's one where you got to tell your player, hey, that's one where you got to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I understand they're trying to get their play set up. They're trying to get it to where they can run their offense. But we've seen that again in the first half where, unfortunately, just some errors by Pine City that they put on themselves as Metling gets a steal.
Yeah, stolen away from the Lions. Metling will bring the ball up for Pine City. Over to Klepper, drives in, dumps it off. Blocked by Pierce. Robine tries to go and get it.
Yeah,
and they're going to call a foul on Robine.
That is a good call. You know, she was pushing Metling out of bounds. And she didn't mean to. She was just going after the ball. But it's one of those where your hustle kind of leads to a foul.
Yeah.
I think for their coach, though, he's going to say, I'd rather see a hustle and take the foul.
Yeah. Blocked there by Halverson. And Robine with a rebound. Besser gets it up the court to Pierce. She's going to try and go in. Blocked by Klepper there.
Klepper
now
says,
they've got numbers. 3-on-1.
Nice
Fast
job.
break. Points are going to fall there for Gray. And Ogilvie Lions are already down the floor again.
That was a great block by Klepper. She says, hey, I see yours. Here's mine. I'm going to answer back with one of my own. And then they go get fast break points from Paige Gray. But like you mentioned, Ogilvie quickly back up the court.
Stolen by Klepper again. Fast break. She has it all to herself. But she misses the layup. And she gets her rebound out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. This is you can't. I mean, it's just so frustrating for Pine City. It's like they get all this to go right for them, but all of a sudden that one big mistake leads to them not getting points, which seemed like this was turning it around for Pine City all of a sudden, but now all of a sudden it gets turned back around in Ogilvie's favor as, man, that is so tough.
Yeah. As Metling there tips the ball out of Byer's hands to go out of bounds, it will stay Ogilvie's ball.
You see this Dragon team still playing with a ton of heart. It's just there's been a lot of frustration here tonight for them, and you can't blame them for being as frustrated as they are because, man, they should be this game should be a lot closer.
Yes. Byer for three is going to be no good, and then Lottie is going to try and get the rebound, but step out of bounds, so it's going to remain Lions. Catch a little break there for them.
Yeah, Lottie was in a good spot for that rebound, but that rebound just kind of led her out of bounds a little bit. It was a good rebound, but it just took her out.
Halverson to Byer for three. That's going to fall for the Lions.
Ooh,
what a great shot there.
Nice looking shot from Byer.
And Gray will bring up the ball for the Dragons. Over to Klepper on the 45. Back up to Metling at the top of the key. Trying to set something up. Over to Boland. Boland looking for it. Not there. Long cross-court pass to Metling for three. No good. Just trickles out of the basket. Rebounded by Pierce.
It just hasn't been there tonight, unfortunately. And for Pine City, they got to remember, there are going to be nights like this, and you just have to get through them and move on.
Yeah, and then we have Metling fast break, not good.
Oh, my goodness.
Rebounded by Byer up to Pearson. They're already back on their side of the court.
And again, another shot in which Pine City is definitely going to look and go, gotta have it, should have had it. But again, it's just one of those nights, and just going to have to battle through.
Yeah. Pierce looking to set something up, but they're tired, it looks like. They're just not able to get an offense running. There's only 11 seconds left on the shot clock. She's going to have to make a move. Loses it in her dribble. It's going to be picked up by Gray. She looks up the court for Boland. Grabs it. No good on the fast break. Foul going to be called there on what I could assume is Gray.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and again, that's another one where it's going to be a hustle foul.
Yeah.
And it's as a coach, you're going to say, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yes, it goes back to Ogilvie, but I'd rather take that foul than you not going for that ball.
Yep.
And, well, that's going to be it for Pine City timeout-wise.
So we got a full timeout from Pine City, so we are going to do the same and hear a word from a couple of our sponsors here on WCMP.
Whoa, they've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station store. Right now, load up on deals like Red Bull 8.4-ounce cans, 3 for $6.50, Frito-Lay varieties, buy one, get one free, buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King-Size candy bar for $2, and fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon to get ready for hunting and frying that turkey. open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsand, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Well, welcome back here to WCMP Radio. Tonight's matchup of the Pine City Dragons and the Ogilvie Lions. In the second half here, we have 5 minutes and 42 seconds left with a 54-29 Lions lead. So the Lions will try and set something up on the full court press that Pine City is playing. Pierce will bring the ball up. Double teamed, tries to get it in to Besser for three. No good this time. Rebounded by Lottie, tipped off to Robine. Her two is not going to be good. Picked up by Klepper, and she tries to slow it up here. Passes it up court to Gray, back to Klepper. Three is not good.
Klepper gets it back, though.
Lottie gets it on the 45, tries to set something up. Over to Metling for three. No good, and that's going to be rebound by Lottie. Passed over to Byer for a Lions ball. She's going to run it up the court here, trying to get something in transition. Passes it down low to Halverson. Missed 2-point shot there. Guarded well by Lottie.
Yeah, that's about all you can do when a player is taller than you on the court, and Lottie did a great job there.
Shot goes up from Gray, no good. Rebound tries to come down from Halverson. Goes off her leg, it looks like.
That's one where I thought that was going to be Ogilvie ball.
Yeah.
It went down Pine City, but it did not. Again, they got a better look down there because they're down there. We're up a little bit, so we'll stick with what the referees call.
Boland passes it into Metling for two. Not going to be good. Rebounded by Pierce.
That's one where, again, it's a good open look, but it just feels like Pine City they're rushing it. They're just off tonight. Whatever it is, they'll just have to battle through.
Pierce drives in and tries to put up a two. It's not going to be good. Rebounded by Klepper, and she's taking it coast to coast here. Block called for the and one on Robine. She tried to get the charge there, but I think she was inside the arc, actually.
Yeah, I think she did a good job, but she just stepped inside. So, unfortunately for her, that's going to be her third, team's fourth. And the basket, yeah, that is good. So it's a three-point play opportunity for now Klepper. And before I hand it back to you, Mac, I just want to say Klepper, holy cow, these last few possessions, she has stepped up on both sides of the ball.
Yes, and she gets her own rebound there off the miss and one. And the shot's going to go up from Metling for three.
Yeah.
No good. They're going to call it off the top of the backboard.
Yeah, yep, it went on that strap up by the shot clock, unfortunately. But, yeah, that again, Klepper, great job defensively, offensively here these last few possessions. Battling against Pierce, those two are going at it a little bit.
Pierce got double-teamed on her way up the court. Pass it off to Robine, who's going to drive with it. Tipped out by Boland up to Besser. Besser gets it off to Pierce, and she is looking to set something up. Gets it down low to Halverson. Just bobbled. Good defense by Lottie there. Brought up by Boland here. Passes it off to Metling for two. Nice. That's going to be a good transition point play.
And Metling slowed it down as soon as she got to the basket and laid it in for sure. Very smart play by one of the seniors here on this Pine City squad.
Besser will hand it off to Robine, who will hand it off to Pierce on the corner there. She's going to bring it back out and try and set up an offense of some sorts. Goes behind her back and gets open in the lane. Shot goes up, and that's going to be an and one for Pierce.
It's another close ticky-tack foul there. It's one where if you call it, it's good, and if you don't, it's another good one. So it's one where it could go either way. But Pierce, gets another one in and got an opportunity for a three-point play.
The and one's going to fall for Pierce, so that's a three-point play for the Lions. Coming into the game is Ganote for Pine City as they give Klepper a break.
Yeah, Klepper deserves it. She has just been, exhausting herself up and down the court. Giving it everything she has. It gets a well-deserved break.
Yes. Boland gets it across to Lottie down low. It's going to come off her hands, though, and it's going to go out of bounds, so Lions ball.
I thought Ogilvie may have tipped it. They did not.
It's hard to tell that from this far away. Oh, we got a hurt player here.
Oh, no, that's never what you want to see. That'll be Robine. She'll come to the sideline.
So Robine takes a step out for Ogilvie. In will be Gabby Vanderplatz.
Yeah, we just hope and pray that she's all right.
As Pierce brings up the ball for the Lions here. 3 minutes to go. Passes it out to Besser on the three-point line. Hands it off to Byer. Byer looking to do something with it. Drives into the lane. It's going to be tipped away by Metling. Picked up by Lottie, and a foul is going to be called.
I think they're going to get that on Halverson. She hooked Lottie's arm as Lottie was trying to get the steal. And even though she's going to be upset with it, it is the right call. She's just trying to make an effort play, and you don't blame her for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's her first foul of the night. So
Rachel Brown will check in for Pine City.
So bringing up the ball is Metling for Pine City. Pass it over to Boland. Boland trying to get Lottie to cut. She doesn't quite understand. Sets the screen. Long two for her. That's going to fall. That's a great shot there.
Boland is having a night offensively.
Yes.
She's doing a really good job. She had the task of guarding Pierce in the first half. They went with Klepper. Now they'll get back to Boland there.
Pass from Byer tipped off by Metling.
Halverson got away with a little bit of a push there on Brown as they were trying to get that ball. Again, they're letting them play tonight, so I can see why, but in other games, that might be called a foul because she shoved her.
Yeah, I saw that.
She gave it a good shove.
Yeah, and Ogilvie's going to call a full time out there. So we're also going to do the same. We're going to take a break and listen to some of our sponsors tonight here on WCM.
Your journey to smile forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
If aches and pains are holding you back, Wellia Health is here to assist you. Our sports medicine team is dedicated to getting you back to your passions with extensive experience and expertise.
Welcome back here on WCMP Radio, where we have the Lions playing the Dragons here. And we come back from that timeout with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go. A 57-35 lead for the Lions. Inbound to Pierce. Pierce to Besser. Besser back to Pierce at the top of the key to Besser. To Byer in the corner. Back to Besser. To Byer in the corner for three. No good. Rebound is going to go to Unverzak. Brought up by Boland. Over to Reiser. Number one, Rachel Brown for three is not going to fall. Rebounded by Reiser. Rebounded again by Reiser. Looking for Brown there. Brown trying to get it to Boland. She does down low. Makes a move on Halverson. And that's going to trickle in for the Dragons there.
We do have a final over in Ogilvie. Pine City gets the victory 104-16.
So Pierce at the top of the key with the ball. Jab step. Gets Boland to jump on it, but they're laughing about it down there.
That's awesome.
Besser for three. No good. Rebounded there.
Vanderplatz.
Vanderplatz. Pierce with it. Over to Byer.
You can tell Boland and Pierce are still kind of giggling about it.
They were having a conversation down on this end earlier. So Pierce for three. Airball, not going to be good.
Yeah.
Vanderplatz tries to get it back in.
As she shot the ball, both Boland and Pierce were smiling.
Yeah, I think they're having a fun time out there.
I think they are. You'll love to see that. Two really good competitors going at it, and they know that they respect each other's game.
Yeah. So, Unverzagt gets it up to Ganot, and stolen.
Ooh.
Besser has it. She's tough against the sideline there.
Man, Ganot with the defense.
Yeah.
3 steals she nearly had. Her defense has been impressive. She's definitely earning herself more playing time.
For sure. Pierce in the lane with it. That's good for 2 for the Lions as the clock winds down here. We have 22 seconds left. Boland's still going at it full force, though. And that's going to be good for 2. I mean, it's not over till it's over.
Her and Pierce are trying to see who's going to finish tonight with more points. It's been very interesting. Pierce is going to dribble out the rest of the clock, though.
Yeah, she does not have to take a shot on this one. And that is going to give Lions the victory there, 59-39 over the Pine City Dragons here tonight. What an incredible game tonight.
So we will take a break. When we come back, we'll have our A&W Player of the Game join us, and then we'll continue to recap this game with myself and Mac and Nelson. But first, a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
Arrowhead Transit. Arrowhead Transit, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Your local radio home for Minnesota Vikings football is WCMP.
Breaks another at the 30, and he's loose!
Your favorite hometown team with your favorite players.
Caught by Jefferson!
Don't miss the hits, the action.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Catch the excitement all season long.
He caught it!
Minnesota Vikings football is on Cool Country 100.9 WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
The Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show, presented by Eskimo and Ion, returns December 13th through 15th.
Join us for the biggest sale of the year.
With great deals on thousands of ice fishing and winter sports products under one roof.
You can shop, compare, and save.
Special features include the thrilling Sea Lion Splash,
trout fishing in the frozen basin,
and pro fishing and cooking tips from experts in the ice box.
If there's too much to see,
come back a second day for free.
Come for the deals.
Stay for the fun.
December 13th through 15th at the Deck in Duluth.
ArrowheadIceShow.com.
Yeah, since it is post-game, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Arrowhead Ice Show up there in Duluth. Text the word fish. We'll make it easy. Text the word fish to 320-629-7575. That's F-I-S-H to 629-7575. The winner will be announced tomorrow during the morning show with me during sports. So be sure to text fish to 320-629-7575. Final here in this one. Pine City falls to Ogilvie 59-39, but Mac, the end of this game, it was kind of similar for Pine City the way they ended the first half. They ended it really on a really good note. Offense looked good. Defense was stellar. But again, they ended both halves like that. They got to turn it around. But your takeaways from this game?
Yeah, once again, Ogilvie is kind of setting themselves up to be an exciting team to look out for this season. I mean, they came out swinging against Pine City to end up winning, but they also did against Bram. So they're definitely one to look out for. They have a good, fast offense. They don't rotate a lot of girls, but it seems to play out in their favor. Coming from the Pine City side of things, they just need to kind of settle in and be able to finish some more shots. They have the right ideas with setting up an offense. They have great defensive potential. They just need to capitalize on those open looks, those transition points, that sort of thing for them.
Yeah, Pine City did a really good job there in the later parts of both halves. But Ogilvie, they started off the second half so hot, and that's a big reason why they got the victory here. They scored 34 points in this second half, and a big reason was the start that they got to in the second half. There was no, let's get back into it. There was no, they got cold. No, it looked like they were continuing on from that first half, like it never had a break. That was what I was most impressed with, because a lot of teams, it's so hard sometimes to get started right out of the half, because you get that break, you're not warm anymore. Jitters might come back a little bit, but man, did they come out and do such a great job offensively, getting their shots to fall early on, defensively putting the pressure on Pine City, not allowing them any open lanes. The passing lanes were closed. They didn't allow a ton of open shots either, which we seen. Pine City was able to find some open shots in that first half, and Ogilvie closed those up here in this second half. Early on, again, we talk about it. You can kind of get into a rhythm. They got into a rhythm right away in the second half, as Ogilvie gets the victory here, 59-39. They'll move to 2-2 on this season. I'm interested to see what you think both these teams will look like. Not even at the end of the season, but what do you think these teams are going to look like midway through the season?
Yeah, so I think Ogilvie is going to be able to start implementing more players off the bench. I mean, they did tonight with Vanderplatz tonight. Put her in there to get her some of that experience. She might not have had that before, but she was out there getting that experience. It looks like we might be having our player of the game.
We'll have our player of the game here coming up and joining us. That will be Brooke Boland. We'll let her catch her breath for a moment here, and then we'll be joined again by our A&W player of the game, that is Brooke Boland. Brooke, this was a pretty tough physical matchup, but for your team, what'd you take away from this game?
Well, we definitely played better than we did last time. I think it's just little things like catching our passes and making the right passes at the right time to each other and knowing who you're passing to. That'll just help finishing everything. And I know we also got to finish just those little layups. And tonight, just no one's threes were falling that first half, second half.
Yeah, it's so tough when those threes aren't falling. But what was the message to you guys at halftime here, down by only 6?
Well, he said we're kind of getting lucky right now because their best player is not shooting. He just said we got to keep playing strong against them, and we got to know that we have each other, and we also need to run our plays, because I feel like in that first half we were just getting the ball on the floor, pushing transition points, and we shot up 3 after 3 after 3, and missing, and nobody was rebounding. So we were just kind of getting lucky that they weren't shooting well either. So I think he just kind of was saying, you got to rely on your team more, slow down and run the play, or nothing's really going to go your way.
And at the end of the game, you guys, it looked really good, both sides of the ball going forward. I got to imagine that the way this game ended, it's got to give you guys some confidence going forward.
Yes, I think that definitely we're learning how to play with each other more and more every time we play together, considering like Piper Metlin, she just came back from a year being out. Me and Mallory are the only two who've ever played varsity minutes before on this team. Kate Unverzat's in 8th grade, and she just hit a big 3 for us. And so I think it's just learning that, like, Paige Gray is her second ever varsity game, like, in her entire life. So it's like a lot of these girls don't even know how to play at this level, but I think once we figure this out, and I think this game showed that once we get that down, we're definitely going to make a run.
And a little bit of an experience on this team for you as one of the leaders of this team, have been on this team for some years now. What are you as a leader trying to do to help these younger players gain that experience and also kind of mesh together as a team?
I think it's important to remember that we're all going to make mistakes. I mean, tonight I probably went 0 for 10 on threes. And, like, last year, if you would have told me I was going to go 0 for 10 on threes, I think I would have, like, died. Like, I think I would have rolled over and died. But I think it's just everyone needs to realize that they're going to make the mistakes, like, you're going to miss shots. And even if they miss it or make it, you still got to give them a high five, and that's your teammate at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and there was a little laugh between you and Pierce there at the end of the game. It looked like some friendly competition, though.
Yeah, me and her, we've known each other for a few years. We played in AAU together. We have the same coach in AAU, so we know each other decently well.
Awesome. Well, that was good to see. Well, Brooke, thanks so much for joining us. Congrats on being the
you.
player of the game, and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
That, again, our player of the game, Brooke Bolin. We'll now hand it over to the head coach of this team, Patrick Judd. We'll give him a moment to get the headset on and get set up and ready. And, Coach, this was a tough one. Early on, it seemed like your team got off to a slow start there in that first half. But then as the half went along, it seemed like the confidence and things were starting to roll in your favor.
Yeah, we had spurts where we looked like we could get back in it, and we got it back down to 6 at halftime. It's like I think we started the first 3 minutes well, and we finished the last 2 minutes well. But everything in between was just kind of we kind of dug our own grave, so to speak, with not finishing layups and not executing on offense. So that's what happens when you play against a team, no matter who they're playing. Is if you can't get the ball to go in the hole, it's a tough thing. And like Brooke kind of already mentioned, we didn't shoot very well. We make a fourth of what we put up from the 3-point range. That's a whole different game.
Absolutely, and I'm curious to wonder what the message was to them at halftime, knowing you were only 6 down.
I said we played. We could have played a much better half, and the fact that we're only down 6 and we played that the way we did, that was a confident thing. But it's kind of how when we came out to start the second half, they came out and executed on offense, and we didn't do that. So that's the difference. Is I give Ogilvie credit; they came out and did what their coach asked them to do, and that's fantastic. So.
And it looked like a little bit of miscommunication there on some of those passes and some of the plays that you're trying to get set up offensively and even defensively, transition-wise. It seemed like a little bit of that inexperience kind of came to the surface.
Yep. Definitely got to remember at the end of the day, this is a young team. They're still learning how to play, and that was the message after the game is we're still trying to build chemistry together and still learning what each other's tendencies are. And if we, this first month here is going to be all about trying to develop that. And if we can't figure that out by the end of December, then we're going to have other problems to worry about besides that. So that's the big thing when you're a young team is stick together, keep finding ways to improve each other, but also improve the team aspect.
And it did look like there at points where maybe some frustration, but it still looked like the veteran leaders were still coaching up the younger players, telling them, hey, this is where you need to be instead of here. Instead of getting frustrated with them, it seemed like they were getting to them and trying to still instill that confidence back into them. Yep,
and that's where we got to lean on our, like you said, those veterans that have been out there on the floor before, and we got to lean on our captains to keep things positive. And, it's not an easy game when you know that you should be in the game, if not possibly winning that game, to do that. But I thought they did a pretty good job for the first time going through that as a team.
And you mentioned the threes just weren't falling tonight. What is the message to the team when you've got those open looks from three, but they're just not going in?
Well, you gotta look at the little details. I mean, when we caught the passes, were they right in the shooting pocket? Were they at the ankles? Were they up high? That's where I started looking at great passes make great shots. When you catch the ball, are your feet set? All those little details that, they maybe have to go look on film and say, did I do that first? Because, I know like some of the experienced kids are asking, am I falling away? Am I leaning? They understand what I think is important when you're shooting a basketball. So that's part of the message is look yourself in the mirror and look at what you can do better first. And we can't worry about what other people do. Worry about ourselves.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining me here in the postgame. Continue to look forward to this team growing, and good luck going forward.
Yeah, thank you for having us here. Go Dragons.
That, again, was the head coach of the Dragons, Patrick Judd. We appreciate him joining us. And, again, a tough night for Pine City, but we mentioned it kind of in the game. It feels like it's just one of those games for them where they're just going to have to kind of play through it, forget about it, maybe not totally forget about it, but move on and get their heads ready for next game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they want to forget about it, especially a loss like this tonight. This is one of those things as a coach where you tell them, "Hey, remember this feeling," and you never want to feel this again. Correct? So that's where I kind of stand on that feeling. But yeah, it's just once that momentum built in the second half, there it was pretty much over. But the like you said, the older players, more experienced players on the team were able to keep playing until the buzzer went. The game isn't over until that buzzer sounds, so they kept playing. And, I mean, they kind of started to turn it around. It just was too late.
Yeah, and like he said, I would have been interested to see if they got a quarter of those shots to fall, because we had mentioned it too. This would look so different had they got just a fourth of those to fall. It would look so much different. But for Ogilvie, what a game.
Yeah.
What a game. What a start. What a finish. I feel like, we got to see a little bit of that depth. We got, unfortunately, the circumstance in which she got in was not good. We had a player who was injured. She looked to be okay, so hopefully she's able to go. But they were able to get some depth, a couple of their depth players in. But just the way that their offense was running so smoothly, their defense was getting back and just guarding so well. Even when there was an open shot, got in their face, rebounded well on the defensive glass. Maybe not a complete game for Ogilvie, but pretty close.
Yeah, it was a great performance from them. They were able to play their offense, able to play hard defense, and they just kept their heads up a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah, and confidence, I think, is one of the biggest things that we'll talk about here with this Ogilvie team is I think they had a little bit more confidence in the second half to begin with, and they really ran away with it like you had mentioned. For Ogilvie, this will not be the final game of the week. It will be on Thursday when they will travel up to Onamia High School, and they'll play against the Mille Lacs Raiders. Then they'll start it off next week with 3 games. They'll have one on Tuesday at home against East Central. Then they'll travel up to Hinckley-Finlayson, and then on Saturday they'll travel out to Walker Hackensack Akeley, who Bram lost to in the section championship game. So that one will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. As for Ogilvie, of course, you can guess who they were led in points by. Yes, it was Cadence Pierce with 27 of those points. But not only did she lead them in points, she led them in rebounds with 19 rebounds. She also had 2 steals, along with 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 block as well. And then behind her, it was Aaliyah Robine with 10 points. For Pine City, leading the way again was Brooke Boland with 19. She had 5 rebounds, 7 rebounds for Lottie and 2 points. Then 7 points for Piper Metling, 4 rebounds. Mallory Klepper had 6 points and 10 rebounds. They also had 13 steals as a team. 4 of them came from Boland, 3 from Lottie, and 3 from Gray. They were 4 of 7 from the free throw line, just over 50%. They had 10 fouls. For Pine City, I think one other thing they'll want to take a look at is the free throws. You mentioned it. They're kind of free points just laying there, and you got to convert those. And I think Coach Judd would say that as well. We have to convert better on the free throws, so that'll be something that they look at. As for them, that's not it for them this week either. They'll head up to Aiken to play the Gobblers on Friday. Then that'll be it. Then they'll return next week for 3 games themselves. 2 of them will be at home, but the first will be on Tuesday over in Mora. That'll be a good one. I think that will be a fantastic rivalry game. Then they'll host Proctor. That's going to be a tough one, but again, what better way to learn and grow? And who knows? I really do believe this Pine City team is going to surprise a lot of teams.
Yes.
Then they'll finish up next week with a game at Pine City as they host St. Croix Prep. So that'll be it for them here this week and next week. But for us, that does it. I want to thank you all for tuning in so much. Thanks for tuning in. I want to remind you to, if you're watching this on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. That way you get notified every single time this YouTube page goes live with a local sports video. Also, want to thank all of our fine sponsors for sponsoring this and every other broadcast that we do. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to be out here. Also, want to thank you for tuning in, because if you're not tuning in, well, then we don't have a reason to be out here at these games. So we appreciate all of you who viewed this game and continue to view our games on this and all of our YouTube channels. Of course, this you can recap this game if you would like. You can listen into the morning shows on 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Or over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. You can also go to our websites, kbek.com, wcmpradio.com, for articles on games, interviews. Broadcast schedule is on the sports tab. Click on broadcast schedule. That'll be up there, and that'll be renewed every Monday afternoon, and it will also, it is also subject to change. Also, remember to stay tuned to like, subscribe, follow, whatever you have to do to our social medias, our Facebooks for both stations, our Instagram for both, and our Twitter at WCMP Raider. I know it's called X. I will never call it X. I will always call it Twitter. But that is going to do it here from us. I appreciate you all tuning in. Mac, your final thoughts on this game?
Great game, great exciting game out there. Both teams played really hard, and I'm excited to see where both these teams go in the future because I'm sure we will be covering more of their games.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm excited as well to see where these two teams wind up here, even midway through the season. We talk about late in the season how they want to be playing their best February, March. I want to see where this team is in the middle of January because I think both these teams are going to look a lot different for the better. Well, that does it here for us. Again, the final, Ogilvie beats Pine City here tonight, 59-39 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Don't forget, Santa's Hotline is next Friday. Call in for that. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. That was Mac Nelson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.